Here we go, sir. All right, all right. Everything should be good. Let me know when you want to start like introductions.
Whenever you do, bro.
All right. What's up, everybody out there on this fine Wednesday evening? This is ZDB the Comic coming at you with the new sort of cool thing that I'd like to do, which is talk a lot. So I figured I might as well take some time out of my day and talk a lot with a good friend of mine, Shadicstick, YouTuber, black man.
Black man.
Content creator extraordinary.
Thanks, Zach. What's good, everybody on Z2B the Comics channel? This is your man, Shadicstick, dropping some hot fraga on this mic. Boom, there we go.
We got the intros
Thank y'all for coming out, and thank you for having me on, Zach. I really appreciate it. I really thought your idea was great, so, I was just like, I gotta be in on that, man. I gotta your casting call to have someone on. I was just like,
I put casting call out on Twitter. About 6 different people liked the tweet, didn't hit me up. Shattuck decided to manifest. And manifest he did, because we're here right now. But
go ahead.
You know what it is. We're here. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for someone better, because I think our repertoire, the two of us, is real good. We've got good chemistry.
Yes, we do, my dude. But you want to go off on what the topics are tonight, or
yes, the topics tonight. Ahem. All right, so tonight we are going to be talking about throw it up on stream. Boom. Slide this down. Spaghetti-o. I'm fucking up already. Here we go. The first, what truly makes games underrated, right? Second, 2021 so far. What's going on in our lives? What's going on in the world? And when would be a good time for you to cut off people who aren't seeing your vision content-wise?
That's some good topics, bro. Do you just want to jump into it?
These are some quick off-the-domes I made earlier in the day. So we're going to start off with topic number 1. Ahem. Right? What makes games truly underrated and overrated? Now, you see, thought of this topic. I was sitting on the toilet at 5 in the morning. sitting here trying to figure out what to do. You know, I'm like, I said I wanted to do this stream. I have some ideas. Not many, but I have some. And this is one of those that are like, you think about it, but like you never really like get back to it. Today I decided we should get back to it. Posture check. Fuck you. Set up the camera off. What was I saying? I saw on Twitter the past couple of weeks, you know, the same thing you always see on Twitter every past couple of weeks, which is people arguing about what game is good, what game is bad, you know, why some games don't seem to get the recognition they deserve.
Before you go off, I want to say this. Mm-hmm. Twitter is it's simultaneously the best and worst place to discuss video games because you can find out some cool stuff. People will talk about, let me get the mic up closer. People will talk about, like, things they like in games. You'll find people with similar tastes to you. But, like, at the same time, bro, it's like the most toxic place to talk about video games because, like, it's either your people in your camp will rally with you or people against you will rally against you.
How dare you?
How dare you? Which, I mean, it's fun. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It is fun, but like
it's fun. And
man.
then they decide to take it to the 30 extra levels.
Yeah.
You know, you go from I don't really agree with your opinion to if you don't think the way I do, you should do a backflip off a bridge.
It's the wildest.
It's very hard to find an in between. Because it seems like everyone is just so willing to die on their hill that they can't even fathom the possibility that maybe someone else thinks a different way, which is a little crazy. It's a little crazy.
Hey, it happens though. It happens. But what makes a game underrated or overrated, man? That's kind of hard because like I feel like everybody knows what an underrated game is. Everybody knows what an overrated game is, but like that can be different from person to person. But usually it's the same feeling. I'm gonna go off on what I think an underrated game is.
All right. Yeah,
so
I will rebuttal to that.
So I think an underrated game is just any game that really it's either it's been overly criticized. So like people I think this is about to be the greatest example in recent history because the Sonic community that's the biggest community I'm a part or the community I'm the biggest part of. The game Sonic Unleashed, it's been one of the most contentious games, period, in the entire in the history of the community, and that's because originally it was a really underrated game. A lot of people I feel like they overly criticized the game because they people scrutinized it for things that weren't necessarily its fault or not even necessarily the game's fault, but just were non-existent issues. People criticize the Werehog, which they can fairly do. I have my issues with the Werehog also, but they were saying it was called bad just because it was not Sonic. You know what I mean? The reason people hated it was because it wasn't Sonic, not because of the myriad of other issues with the Werehog. The platforming sections or the 20-30 minute long stages. Not that. It's not Sonic, so I hate it. Or not really appreciating the daytime stages because they'd go out of their way to make a point of talking about by the way, what's good, RRG, welcome to the stream.
Thank you very much for the follow as well. How you doing?
They'll talk about the daytimes. They'll say, oh yeah, the daytime stages are there, but they'll never act like they weren't good, even though it's agreed upon that's probably the best part of the game, and it's a really good. I wouldn't say it's the majority of the game, but I'd say it's a good chunk of the game, and I feel like people aren't recognizing it enough. But then on the other hand, the game has become overrated recently because people are saying it's the pinnacle of Sonic storytelling. It's the pinnacle of the Sonic series. It's the best game in the series, and it's the most effort Sega's ever, or Sonic team has ever put in a game, which I believe to be completely false. And I'll go into that.
Those are some really bold statements.
Yeah,
I'm not in the Sonic community, but I see you interacting with a lot of the people there. So I'm just spectating from a distance. Like, I thought everyone hated this game 6 months ago. I thought this was treated like the biggest garbage fire they had ever gotten, aside from Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a game that rightfully deserves all of its hate. And yet people still find a way to go, I think that we overreacted to Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'm like, I'm sitting here like, so this is like a flip-flop that I don't think anyone saw that one coming ever on the internet. Everyone played that game. I don't want to say everyone. A good portion of sane people played that game and was like, this game is bad. I feel bad for making my mom or myself waste the money on this game. Right?
Exactly.
Fighting Silver literally puts you in a loop if you let him hit you more than once. That it literally, you might as well just turn off the console and then turn it back on again. Right? You would fall through the floor just standing still. Like, that's an example of a game that is bad, just plain bad, right?
Yes.
Now, I'd like to use another Sonic game for like the example of a underrated game, right? Sonic and the Secret Rings, right? Is a game that some people like. Most people, from what I've experienced and talked to people about, think is like the best game that came out during that era. I don't agree with that, but I can respect why they're saying that. They were like, this game would have been arguably a top 5 of like the what year did that game come out? Like 2009, 2008,
2006.
Oh my god, 2006. From like the 2006 to let's say like 2010 era of like Sonic games.
Yeah.
They would say it was the best one if they had the option to play it without motion controls. And I can see where they're coming from with that. I get it, but that's not how the game was delivered. Yeah. So in that sense, you can say how like the game is sort of overrated.
It's one of those situations where because I feel like even though I think the game is bad, it has a lot of redeeming qualities. I think the story is probably one of the best, if not the best, in the series.
Arguably.
Has an amazing soundtrack. It's a Sonic game. It's really, it's the only time a Sonic game ever, it just doesn't ever have a good soundtrack. It's because it's not made by Sega. You know, it's made by like
the Sega in-house team.
Yeah, it's made by like
one of the bands that Sega trusts.
Yeah, it's usually like when BioWare made a Sonic game, Sonic Chronicles, or like we don't talk about it, or when we got Sonic Boom, which the music in that game wasn't good, but it wasn't horrible. The one in Sonic and Chronicles was that game actually just had bad music. I was just like, bro, how do you could have just yeeted songs from the rest of the series, but they decided not to.
Shout out to the devs, the Deviant Syndicate, for the tier 1 resubscribe. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Thank you for dropping by.
But man, I think Sonic is the best series to use because it's like gaming's the most volatile series.
It's like gaming's, I don't want to say craziest fan base, right? I don't want to say it's gaming's craziest fan base, but it's definitely the most volatile. Like, they're the most vocal fan base. Like, you don't see Mario fans go out of their way to go, I didn't really like this game. However,
like, it's one of those. Yeah.
Turn you up.
I'll say, I'll wait till you turn us up. Whatever. You turned up?
I turned you up. It sound better?
Alright.
Alright, thank
Alrighty.
you. Two, you're beautiful. Yo, my camera not even on. You can't start talking to me like that.
Nah. You guys act feeling some type of way, man.
My mic's still a bit low. Hold on. Let me hit that. It's a little better. It's a little better.
Bro, thank you, Dev.
Shaddy, you're beautiful too.
Don't have me acting up out here, dog.
Man, start posting selfies on the TL.
But on the real, since the audio seems to be fixed, what was I gonna say? Like, I don't know. I think the greatest example of an overrated game outside of Sonic, I feel, is crap. I feel is Super Mario 64. And
that is a take.
Don't get me wrong. Before I say this, I think contextually, within the time that it came out, at the time, was may have been greatest game or greatest games of all time. You know what I mean? But now in the modern day and age, especially after replaying it over the years and going back and playing it, it is nowhere near as good as any other Mario game that has come out since then, nor does it hold up as well as any other Mario game, but more importantly, I think as a platformer, it doesn't hold up as well as people say it does. I think there's some really cool stuff that you can do, and, you know, watching speedrunners, because I think it's probably the most respected speedrun out of any speedrun because it's the most optimized. You know, I respect, you know, people who love that game. I respect people who, you know, think it's a great game. But I cannot say with, you know, even 10% confidence that it is like top 10 or even top 20 games of all time. Because I believe that age has hit that game like a brick. And I will say this. I think it's a good game still. It's just, I don't think it is as good as people give it credit for. In the sense that I think, like, now we should probably move on and talk about the other Mario games or other platformers. Because I feel like they do a lot better job than, like, Super Mario 64 does.
Okay.
What about you, bro?
Those were some stupid hot takes. And since we're getting some of these stupid hot takes off, let me tell you how I feel about a lot of people's favorite Mario game, Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh no, I'm about to get hurt. Oh no.
Yo, everything you just said, it's exactly how I feel about Sunshine. I'm like, yo, Sunshine's such a fun game. I can't wait to replay it on the Nintendo Switch until they take it off the store because Nintendo is marketing geniuses, I guess. I guess taking off a game people have been begging for you to put on things since the Wii came out. What was the best business strategy? But that's besides the point. Super Mario Sunshine is a fun game. Don't get me wrong. But trying to play that game again, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fun. So I'm out of water and I've fallen 35 feet. I thought I had a little more. I think that's probably the prettiest game in that collection, by the way.
I think it's stood up the test of time the most.
I don't, like, there's no reason for that water to look better than water in games with budgets that are bigger. Even, like, comparing the dollar from then to the dollar now, there's no reason the Watch Dogs Legion water should look worse than Super Mario Sunshine's water system.
Bruh, Watch Dogs Legion got ray traced water, but Mario Sunshine manages to top even modern day games with multi-million-dollar budgets, up in the hundreds of $1 million, with ray traced water. They have the most advanced graphical effect placed on it, but Mario Sunshine's like
the most modern technology. And they were like, what if we layer the water filter on the water filter about 100 times? So what if we do that and we just move them over a centimeter every time, and it makes the most beautiful water to have ever existed. But that doesn't keep it from getting this criticism, though.
Oh no!
Yo, just because your water is beautiful doesn't mean your gameplay is solid. Look, man, the game is fun, but I don't feel like if Super Mario Sunshine got released today, I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have did so well. I think it would have did well because it's Mario. Let me clarify. I don't think people would respect it as well.
Yeah, you talking about critically?
Yeah.
See, like I think I don't know. I feel like most of the time you get overrated games when a game is extremely popular, especially at a specific time, and over time the sentiment around that game just really never changes, but you get a new group of people experiencing it. So like Super Mario 64, you really didn't have the first re-release of it is the DS re-release,
Yes.
right? They remade it.
It's the one with the best multiplayer of all time.
yes, it does. Oh my god, the multiplayer's got like, but it controls worse than the N64 version only because it's using a D-pad. It was on a D-pad, even though it looked better. It had a D-pad, so you're not using that N64 analysis. But let's skip over to the Wii. We get it on Virtual Console, whatever. People enjoy it. But nobody's really, I think really I didn't hear people start talking about and I think this is partially comes from like the way the internet works, because when Let's Plays and stuff are popping off, a lot of people were going back to old Nintendo games, so a lot of people's experience with like a lot of games sometimes are just Let's Plays. So we have this echo chamber of I've never really played the game, but I've watched someone else play the game who experienced it, and their experience is that, oh, I liked this game when it was younger, nostalgia clouds, and then you get the overrated game. I don't know. It's just it can be a combination of different things. You know what I mean?
Almighty nostalgia.
Like, cause like I remember like. I think the first time I played Mario 64 was when I was like 5 or 6, and I loved that game. Then I played it again when I was 10. And then I was like, uh-oh, what's wrong? It's the same game. And I'm like, something's not right here, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not enjoying this game as much as I did. Then I got, I played it again in high school. I was just like, I'm not enjoying this game like I used to, and I'm enjoying it even less. And I played the game again a little bit when the source code got leaked and people just directly ported it to PC, and I was just like, ooh, let me play. And I was just like, I'm gonna play A Hat in Time. Like, that's what I did. I turned off Mario, played A Hat in Time, played some Celeste, went to sleep. So I mean, that's just one of my examples of what I believe will be an overrated game. I got more, but that's just the most immediate one in the most.
I'm going to shoot for the game that made me almost break this expensive microphone. Now, that's the franchise I'm about to shoot for. Mass Effect 2 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. It is definitely overrated though. Like this franchise, the franchise as a whole is good because of what it does. But the first game and the second game, I fear don't hold up all that well. Which is why I'm happy they're releasing like a remastered version. I think it's this year or next year. That way they can fix some of the issues that are blatantly there. Like the fact that there's an area in Mass Effect 2, right? Where you visit an area that's reminiscent of basically the starting area of the first game. It's basically supposed to be like, haha, remember this tragedy? And there's a boss in there, right? That you can kill before you even encounter the boss by shooting it from far enough away of the trigger point. That way it spawns in to that location, but the cutscene doesn't play. You can kill the whole boss and then just move on with the next mission. That's just a regular old glitch. There was a glitch that used to just break the game, where you would have one of your Paragon Renegade choices and you would hit the button as soon as it pops up, and immediately the game would crash.
Just immediately, like, there's nothing you could do.
Like it would go like, all right, so the Paragon Renegade things, they're like mini cutscenes, like in gameplay. It's in engine.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how fast the action happens, the character's supposed to get at least a line of dialogue off. But if you hit it before he gets halfway through that sentence, you would hit him, that you would resume gameplay, but you wouldn't be able to move and you would fail the mission.
That is nutty.
Yeah. It's just a series of glitches. Everyone who like, if you look up Mass Effect, like in GIFs, majority of what you see are like the actual glitches. Those aren't like fake GIFs that someone made in like I forgot what engine they use. Source engine.
Wait, say that again. Wait, used to do what again? I'm sorry, my brain.
Used to like SFM. It's
SFM,
not like
that's Source Filmmaker. Yeah, that's Source.
It's not like SFM where like they made it in there. No, like there is a cutscene where a character turns around and he's just supposed to put his head behind his shoulder as he's turning around, and his head rotates about 1,000 times. Right? There's dialogue lines that just don't make sense for your character in the first game. Because, like, in the very first game, the issue... Here we go. This is the issue. And I really like this game. If you want to be a renegade, which is basically the sort of like the dick, all of your options are space racism. All of your options. Yo, you ask a character a question, and this is the dialogue will say like, really? Why would you do that? And then the character says, you dirty Turian. Only a Turian would do something like that. And I'm like, yo, this doesn't even correlate with the option I was given. The dialogue does not match up to the option. And then you pick the good guy option, and you go, oh, well, that makes a total amount of sense. Thank you very much. Right? Like, there's just no... And then in Mass Effect 2, they fixed that a little because they added some in-betweens, right? Yeah. But boy, oh boy, was playing the first game again a swift reminder when I was playing, and you meet Garrus for the first time, and you get two options, and one of them is, why would you ask me for help? And the other is, okay, sure, I'll help you. And you go with, why would you ask me for help? And the first thing the guy says is, you dirty Turian, get away from me. I don't want to help you. And then the character who is super prideful in all of the games goes, can you please just help me though? And you still do the mission. Like, things like that just don't add up. And I can't wait for them to fix some of those options that just don't make sense. Because characters shouldn't go in the third game after you pick that first option. Yeah, Commander Shepard's a real nice guy. He's my friend. In the DLC where they reminisce on everything. In the game that collects all of your choices. And then gives them to you. And... it's oof. I like the Mass Effect franchise, but things like that make me understand why most people don't, or like most people wouldn't. It doesn't like, those games are overrated. I like them a lot. I give them like 8s, but there are people who are saying it was the best games of all time, and I just can't agree with that. Just can't.
I understand that sentiment, and I want to talk about one more overrated series, and then I'm gonna probably give it an underrated game or whatever. Before I guess we move on, unless you want to still stay on this topic,
No,
but
we could
uh,
move on.
but I want to say this, bro. I think the Fallout series, many people think I'm anti Bethesda. No, I just hate Fallout, and I don't think Skyrim was. I don't think Skyrim was good. I don't think it's bad.
That's the
I don't think it was good.
see. Look
But,
now. The thing is,
the reason I
nah,
say Skyrim.
nah. Let me just say
Good,
this.
good.
The thing is, most people will agree with you that the Fallout games aren't that good, except for like New Vegas and the first two, which were top-down RPGs. Because the ones that Bethesda made by themselves are sort of bad games. Because the ones that they made were 3, 4, and 70 fucking 6. Holy sh! That game, I can't believe that game servers are still active.
Yeah, it's because they went free to play, bro. And like they still continue to screw over the community half the time. I'll see something new about it, be like, oh, they put this microtransaction in here, and then they promised they would never do this, and then I'm like, oh god, that's just a mess. The reason why I'm not gonna say Skyrim is a bad game, but the reason I say Skyrim is I've never played a game where I'm not gonna say I've never played a game like with this issue. But I've never. I shouldn't have to mod a game for me to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, anytime I've tried to play Skyrim, I just get so insurmountably bored. And I also think it's I think it's unacceptable how buggy, glitchy, and because like that game will just you'll just glitch out of nowhere, and it's like Sonic 06 levels of glitchy. Like I'm even worse so.
Yo, this game's been ported to everything under the sun. Still has glitches. Every single port. It doesn't matter. They're just in the game. They sort of became a part of the game's like life cycle, to be honest.
It has surprised me that people like accept that, and like Fallout's the same way. The entire like Fallout's the same way. I just think I don't know. I got glad that Microsoft bought Bethesda because hopefully they'll have better QA because of it. Because I think they were
better game testers.
Because like the studios under Bethesda, like outside of Bethesda GameWorks, are god tier.
Like whoever makes the Wolfenstein games,
Machine Game, like Arcane. Like I cannot wait for Deathloop, bro. Deathloop, when they announced Deathloop, I was like, oh my god. And then I saw Arcane, and I was like, I need it.
That looks like a game that I can take a nice bite out of and not let go for a long time. Like Deathloop looks like a game built for speedrunners, but made for a casual audience. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're saying. I want to say Celeste is in that camp, but Celeste is not in that camp. That game hard. That game hard. But I know what you mean. Like, they want you to beat the game as quickly as possible. You need to do these things in this order before, you get to this, because it's just, it looks so cool from what we've seen. The small amount we've seen, I was like, I think I want this. But let me see an underrated game before we go off. An underrated game. Bro, y'all play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 Plus 2. There we go. That's it. Nobody talking about that game.
I'm super surprised. Like the remake, is it a remake or remaster?
Remakes. They're remakes.
I'm super surprised the remakes like haven't been getting as much hype as I thought it would. At least I thought those games would be blow up because everyone always talks it. I think the Tony Hawk games are a little overrated because everyone talks about how much they love them and how much they would love a new one, and then we got these, and the same people haven't touched them.
Like, I will say this, they sold well. They sold extremely well. It's just nobody talked about it after. I was just like, oh. I will say this, I think it's partially due to that game's online just
All the
not
online
being up
don't
with the
work.
times. It works, it's just not up with the times, dog. Like, you can't make a private lobby, or when you do, it goes public after a minute. You can play with your friends. You know, you can go into a party online. It's just like, you can't choose free skate and all that. It's just, there are things that, like, previous Tony Hawk games had that weren't an issue that are an issue in this game. And I'm like, bro, Tony Hawk Underground 2 on the PS2 didn't have, you know, it had better online. You know, this shouldn't be the state of online for this game, but
Yeah.
it's still it's a phenomenal game. I mean, I wish I don't know if they're making more content for it or making a new Tony Hawk game. Hopefully, I think Tony Hawk needs a new game.
From the way that I just looked it up now, from the way it's sold, if they didn't make a new one with the same engine that they made these remakes in, it would sort of be like throwing away money.
Yeah, it's just, I'm like, the game sold well.
As long as we don't get Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
Bro, whoa, hold on.
No,
Dude,
let me
that game exists? What? There's a Pro Skater 5? Dude, I didn't know that.
Look, man, I'm inside. You know, my uncle works for Activision.
But I think the next thing we should talk about is 2021 so far.
Yeah.
You start this one.
2021 has been a interesting 20 days.
Yeah,
it's been an interesting 20 days, you know. Back on my stream shit, you know, I'm getting all my stuff together in real life, getting ready to buy a car. Personally, life is good. And as of right now, it seems like outside of my personal life, everything's sort of okay. I can't really say it's good yet, but here's to hoping. All right, what about you, Shaddick? What about you?
For me, like, I'm trying to make moves. I'll say that much. I don't know if you kept up with things I've been saying on Twitter. I will say this. I've been
I saw the Best Buy thing.
Like, I applied at FedEx. I'm pretty sure I got the job. Okay. Which is good. YouTube's been going well, and I think it's only because I've been like motivated to make content. You know, I haven't been demotivated like I have in the past. Videos have been doing well, like content wise, like, you know, getting back into making Sonic content. And the reason I say that is because that's the thing. Like, that was one of the main things that made me pop off. And I'm getting back to talking about the games I like, really. And don't get me wrong, I like Smash, but, you know, I can only
Smash all the time. At that, you're just gonna end up uploading the same video twice and not realize it.
Yeah, it's just like, dang, I uploaded that same video like forever ago. It's just like, it becomes a cycle that I really don't want to start too much. So I've started making the videos that I really wanted to. It's been a lot of realizing that I don't have to go all out every time to make my point.
With like your editing.
Yeah, because like a lot of time will be spent on writing, and then like I'll make a video. Say for instance, I'll make like I think the best example of this is like the real issue. No. I think it is. It's the real issue 30 Sonic video, bro. I made that video. That video was originally 45 minutes long.
Wait, for real?
It was legitimately 45 minutes long. It is about 15 minutes or so now, I think.
Yeah.
But I realized I was just like, bro, I can't I can't do that. I can't do that in a timely fashion, you know what I mean? And then I was just like, what if I just do this chunk? I cut out all these other portions that are like subject topics within the video and just really like condense it. I've learned I gotta kind of streamline my videos more and all that stuff.
Yeah, what you've been packing. Let's say your video is like a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Because I tried making like YouTube videos like way long ago, But what I would do is make them the same way that I would make a sandwich. So here's the example, right? Put you down your first loaf of bread, boom, nice piece of wheat bread, fantastic. Then I would put down some Dijon mustard, right? A little sauce on the video. Make sure that people are going to enjoy it. I'm entertaining. They're being entertained. Everyone enjoys the sandwich, right? Then I put down lettuce, right? It's all the fancy words I'm going to use, right? Then the meat of the video, the actual topic. I take this half a centimeter piece of ham and I lay it down. And then I put on more lettuce and more mustard, and then I close the sandwich. And I was missing the point that no one wants to eat a lettuce sandwich. They sort of just want a ham and cheese and book it. You know, the lettuce sandwich, the sandwich with all the frills and stuff is good some of the time. But the ham and cheese is always going to hit home. It's always going to hit home.
I've been like basically just, you know, making the stuff I want. That's another thing. Like, it's just like I used to like want to just talk about things, and I just wouldn't because I'd be scared. Oh, people will be upset at me or whatever, and it's just like, nah, I just gotta do it. I just gotta do it. Or, oh, this may not get that many views. Nah, I just gotta do it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the times we just do something, people will go with you. You know what I mean? Like, the people who are really there for your content and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, this has been a wild time, and then I'm about to schedule to get my license next month because my mom bought a car for me because she was like, I was just like, oh, okay. So she did do that. I'm basically just making moves.
I feel it. I can hear it in your voice. So you don't want to give away too much, but you just want people to know that moves are being made. Not everyone needs to know the details, but what they do need to know is that things are happening.
Yes. But you want to talk about some things going on in the world right now, like inauguration?
Yeah, you know, today is the first day of 2020, but 2021. The end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021. It was today for me, at least. That's what it feels like. Like, I've never been so excited to actually open Twitter in like 4 years.
I know, bro.
I got on the platform today because first thing I do in the morning, I wake up, I get out of bed, I use the bathroom, I brush my teeth, and right before I get dressed, check Twitter. Past 4 years has been hell doing this routine, so I gave up like a year ago on checking Twitter, and it was sort of fucking with me because I didn't realize how much I was on the platform, and I started doing it again because quarantine. And I was like, fuck. I need to check Twitter. I need to see what's going on. It was supposed to be 2 weeks, then it was 3 months, then no one stayed inside for the 2 weeks, so then it was 3. I'm not going to get into that right now. But basically, President Joseph R. Biden Jr. was elected into office today.
Whole government.
Whole government. Don't forget the junior. Right? And Vice President Kamala Harris. Sworn in without anything. You know? I saw some images. It was a beautiful. I was at work, so I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
But what? I just have a question though. Like, aside from like how wonderful today was.
Yeah.
What was Lady Gaga wearing, bro? What was? She was actually dressed like the woman from the beginning of the Hunger Games.
Bro, she's Lady Gaga.
And that was a little nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw them images on Twitter. I was like, okay, I'm a little scared now. I'm a little scared.
We gonna start the Hunger Games? Huh?
Please don't announce the Hunger Games. Okay, she's just singing I was about to call it Rockets Red Glare. Star Spangled Banner. Oh, thank God. All right, he gets elected. He announces his plans. He immediately suspended student loans, so let's go Biden.
Yes, sir.
I know you're especially happy about that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, I am. I'm in a camp right now where I'm like really glad, and I'm, after seeing the plans and stuff that they have going, I think where he's reversing a lot of Trump era stuff, which is good. And I think the U.S. is about to move in a lot better direction for it, especially because I think Senate is blue, House is blue. Like, I think
my Senate is blue, my vice president is black. I think that was the Jeezy line.
Like, bro, we about to get. I'm on the real though. Like, I just think life is about to get a lot better, even if it's like not the full Bernie steps. You know what I mean? That I wanted.
We're taking the pseudo steps to get near what he was trying to do.
Yeah, baby steps, man, baby steps, and that's what really matters. I will say this. Past 21 days have been kind of nutty though. I just started school again. Class started like Tuesday, so it's going all right so far.
Okay. Honestly, it's crazy because my sister was born on the 6th.
For real.
Yeah. So what a crazy way to. What a crazy. By the way, shout out to my little sister. Happy birthday. I don't know if she'll ever see this, but happy birthday. All right. And then we go out for lunch. And we check social media, because that's what you do when you first sit down at the little COVID friendly restaurants. You sit down, you go, let's look at the menu. Let's open Twitter. Let me get a glass of water. I open Twitter, and I see a gaggle of people of the, I don't want to say Caucasian persuasion, because I don't think it was only Caucasian people who decided to use all of the sanity and privilege they had to rush the Capitol, which was a crazy way for the first week of January to start off. How did you feel about seeing all of these individuals with total sanity spend their what day was that? Was that a Tuesday? I think that was a Tuesday.
It was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday. How did you feel about those people spending their Wednesday afternoon raiding the Capitol, and also within like 35 minutes building a hanging block to put Mike Pence in?
I'm just gonna call them what they are. These terrorists.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised, because that's what Donald Trump specifically has been wanting. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he has an outright. He's been very
coy with the words he's choosing, but he heavily implied this is what he's wanted for a good amount of time. Well, what he wanted for a good amount of time.
Exactly, and I think it shows the lack of it just, I don't know. I want to say it shows the lack of like self-awareness, but I think you have to be self-aware in the privilege you have to be able to go out there, do that, go try to create an insurrection, and then most of the people not really go to jail or have any repercussions against them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those situations that I don't mean to get all out there, but like, this is like, this is white privilege.
It's sort of hard to, how do you say, not like talk about, because it's such like an insane event.
Yeah, it's like, it's like this is the biggest example of like white privilege I've seen. The reason I say that is in June and July and May and August and September of last year, you know, people were legitimately marching peacefully,
Yeah.
getting beat to death by cops. Literally,
Don't forget the rubber bullets destroying
the,
people's orbital bones,
the
because
rubber bullet.
apparently the police departments across the country have the funds to buy all of this riot gear and not train people on how to use it.
Oh, don't forget the tear gas. Don't just And I think back to I forgot what his name is. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
You talking about George Floyd?
No, not George Floyd. It was someone holding a violin vigil, peaceful. Just a bunch of violins.
I know who you're talking
in
about.
a
I don't
park.
remember his name. Oh my god.
For George Floyd and all those and Breonna Taylor and all those who had died tragically passed at the hands of police, having a peaceful violin vigil, got killed by the police. And I think about it, and I think about how all these MAGA toting guys just walked into the Capitol.
By the way, did you hear about some of the details that came out about what they did in the Capitol?
Say that again.
Did you hear about some of the details that happened of what some of these people did while they were in there?
You mean
like several people physically shit they shit in their hands and they wiped it on the walls. And the only reason they know that they did it in their hands was because there was fingerprints. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You literal monkeys.
Oh my god, they're actually monkeys.
Like literal monkeys. Like there was the dude who stole. This just came out it was either yesterday or this morning. One of the so-called patriots, translation. Well, I can't even say so-called because committed a literal terrorist act today. He tried to sell Nancy Pelosi's laptop to some Russians.
No. That was a woman.
It was a woman.
Yeah, it was this. And the dude who there was the person who turned her in was an ex.
What a patriot. What a soldier.
Exactly. Like, it is beyond me how people justify being that way. It's like, I feel like you have to have no moral compass, really. Because, it's like, think about it. I just saw this tweet where, it was MAGAs are realizing they've been conned. And one of the tweets sum it up, perfectly. What did we even get? No wall. DACA still exists. He hired tons of neocons and got people who would otherwise oppose them to cheerlead them. Julian is in prison. Was it even worth it? I am so black-pilled. Or, this one. This one is beautiful. This one is beautiful. 4 years of being labeled a Nazi and all I got was a stupid MAGA hat. It's like, you're self-aware of what you are, or what
I truly wonder what some of these people are going to do after this. Are they willing to attempt to integrate back into? Well, they've already integrated back into society.
Say that again.
They've never integrated out of society. What I'm saying is, are they willing to go back to living the way they did in 2015? Because a lot of these people got into politics just because it was Trump. It's so strange the way they were so willing to join a cult.
Yeah.
because he said he was doing it for the good old boys, the red, white, and blue. Make America great again. And it was just weird to like see and like deal with.
It's the fact that,
especially like I used to. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Go ahead. No, you good, bro.
I had a customer who used to come in all the time wearing a MAGA hat. He was like, if you don't like it, deal with it. And he came in right after the results came in, like the official results, and it said Biden-Harris won. And he was throwing a fit. And I remembered what he said all the way back then. And I looked at him dead in his eyes, and I handed him his small coffee, and I was like, if you don't like it, deal with it. And he threw that. First of all, he grabbed the coffee, he calmly walked outside, and he threw that shit on he spiked it like a football. he was not having it.
Bro, I think the greatest example of how these people think is, I live in Alabama, so, disclosure, I live in the land of the MAGA hats. I was with my mom, I forgot where we were going. I think we were going to Taco Bell or something like that. And the truck in front of us had a Trump 2020 sticker that said, "Fuck your feelings," right? Right next to it said, "Pray for your neighbor, care for them, and treat them kindly. Treat them as you would want to be treated." And I was just
I really don't think people, especially religious people who voted for Trump, I don't think they see the irony in what they say, and what it's literally practice what you preach.
Yeah, it's like,
but you don't know what you're practicing because you accidentally joined a cult.
It's one of those situations where I thought about it, or I didn't even really have to think about it, but I really had this come to mind one day, and I was just like, I was talking to some friends, and I was just like, these people's idea of a better America is just taking away rights from people and oppressing them. And then on top of that, they've been indoctrinated. I live in Alabama, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the people who are the only way to put it like this is because I don't want to call them anything else, but poor white people. Mm-hmm. During this election, all of the areas with poor white people, right, voted for Trump because they have less access to things like education. And that's not to make fun of them. That sucks. But they've been indoctrinated because they're less educated on things. They don't know about, they legitimately just don't know things. And while, they should have a moral compass, you just should know what's right and what's wrong, right? Their outlook on a situation, it's like the people talking about taxes, on Twitter, you have the people oh man, Joe Biden's gonna raise taxes, and it's it's not in your tax bracket, you know what I mean?
But they don't, thank you, they don't get it. People who are making $20,000 a year going, Joe Biden's gonna raise the taxes for the rich, and I'm like, that sounds like a good idea, because I'm not rich. I don't have to vote with my wallet yet.
Bro, it's you're not in that tax bracket. It doesn't negatively affect that tax bracket.
And all it does is positively affect you.
Exactly.
Poor person, because I'm not rich. I am rich in spirit. I am not rich in wallet. Let me tell you one thing.
It's like the people against raising the minimum wage. Their argument is always, oh, but the price will go up. They're like, fine. Oh, the price of things will go up. I'm like, that's fine, bro. As long as you're not making $7.25 an hour.
Yeah, would you rather be homeless?
It's
sure, there's plenty of homeless people who are like, damn, I wish I could have been making enough. So in order to sustain myself.
I think the greatest example of this, bro, is so someone brought this up, bro. They're
Mhm.
like the minimum wage in like Denmark or someplace. It's some place in Europe, or it might be Canada. I don't know. It's
Oh,
like
I know exactly what you're
$22.
talking about.
It's $22, right? Over here, the minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Hasn't budged an inch since like the '80s, right? Even though the minimum wage was originally supposed to be a livable wage. That's what it's supposed to be. That's why it's called the minimum wage, so you
Yeah.
can be able to live off of it. Um, so the minimum wage over here is 7.25, and it's like I think it was like a quarter pounder or something, or some arbitrary food item like a chalupa or something from Taco Bell. It's like 4.85, right? And they're like, "Oh, it's gonna raise the prices." It's 5.15 in Denmark or wherever it is, bro. 5.15 to two from 4.85. That's 30 cents, bro. A 30 cents
I never
difference
like.
for
I'm a cheap
a
dude. I'm a cheap dude. I don't like to spend money unless I like have to or like I want to. But even then, I'm like, ew.
that's
But yo,
like a
changing the price of 20 like nuggets from like $4.30 to like $4 and like 50 cents
like
isn't that big of a deal. It
it's
isn't that big of a deal. It's
for
not
real,
like they're
son.
changing the price of 20 nuggets from $4.30 to $8. Like,
Like people are like, oh, they got to do this to offset taxes or whatever. I'm like, bro, businesses don't pay taxes anyway. So it's just like they're not gonna be losing money. If anything, they'll just be sitting there making more money because more people can buy their food. You know what I mean? Like it's it's just ridiculous, dog. I don't know how people have gotten to this point where they're like, I don't think a person flipping burgers at McDonald's should make as
yo,
much.
did you see the Amazon worker who said
Say that
that?
again.
There's a dude on Twitter. He was like, I
Oh
work at
yeah,
Amazon. I pack boxes. Yo, if you're flipping burgers at McDonald's or Burger King, you don't deserve to make as much money as me. I'm like, just go get a
son,
job at Burger King then.
you
They're
moving
making
boxes.
$15. Just go there.
And
Just go there.
I'm pretty sure the McDonald's or Burger King job is harder than the Amazon job because at least I know Amazon warehouses can vary because the one in my area everybody's trying to work there because they get a lot of VTO, they get paid VTO,
Mhm.
and on top of getting paid VTO, which is
Guaranteed
voluntary,
overtime.
they get guaranteed overtime and all that stuff. So
It's like
they
I
get
think it's like every other week
voluntary
or
time
every two
off that's
weeks.
paid. They get way good overtime because you're getting a time and a half for $15 an hour. So you're making 20 something an hour if you're getting overtime. So it's like I don't understand how people think like that, how they think reasonably. And if you're really that worried, go to work at McDonald's or
That
Burger
like that doesn't
King.
make sense. He's like, yo, I've been working here for like 2 years. I don't think if you work at fucking Checkers making my rallies fries, you you don't deserve 15 an hour. And I'm like, yo,
Son.
if you think like this, you can just not go to those places and you can make food.
Yeah, for
Make
real.
you can make food at home. That way you're not supporting that function. It's just I don't get why people think too hard about certain things, right? Like, cause the people who are saying the things like that, the people who are saying
Yeah.
like shit like that, they're thinking too hard about the money that they want to make and not the money that they are making. Like you're making like 13.35 at Amazon right now, but you're imagining that you're making enough to afford a Bentley truck, and you can't. See, these are facts, okay?
Yeah.
But you are imagining you are in the tax bracket in which you can afford the extravagant things that you want in your life, and it's clouding your better judgment. You were like, no, they shouldn't raise the taxes for the rich. That way, that I can make more money and eventually become the rich. Nope.
Like I don't think people understand, like, it's this concept of, I don't know. I think it's because this concept of like social mobility has been ingrained in people's head. You know how lucky and like not even lucky. You know how lucky of a situation you have to be to become like Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like no one's saying you shouldn't be successful, and no one's saying. I think people don't understand that when people want things like a raised minimum wage, they just want people to live. They're not saying this guy working at McDonald's should make as much as like
He should make as much as Elon
Bill
Musk.
Gates or Elon Musk. No one's saying that. Everyone's saying they should be able to live comfortably. You know what I mean? Without having to worry about having to live with other people, finding other people to live with.
Yeah, they shouldn't have to have 6 roommates in order to afford a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. Okay.
Exactly. It just will never make sense to me because people just want this. I don't know why. It's just they want people to not be able to succeed because being able to have a livable wage allows you to have social mobility.
Yes.
I think the best example of this is actually in Denmark. They had UBI, universal basic income or whatever. With universal basic income, you think, oh, people would stop working, right? People have always said, oh, you just give people money, they'll stop working, they'll work less.
I've never understood that logic. I've never met someone who uses that logic.
The reverse happened. So
yeah,
they're making, I think they're making like 1,000. They're giving them like 1,000 or 800 a month, something like that. Employment rate went up. More people were going to school. People on average were happier. They're making more money. People are spending more.
Yeah, the suicide rate dropped in Denmark, didn't it?
Dropped. Yes, suicide rate dropped even further. It's the happiest place on earth. Like literally, the people there are happier than anywhere else on earth because they understand that as long as you make it so people can live comfortably, they'll rise up and they'll be able to move socially. That's how social mobility actually works. You give people a foundation in which they can move up from. And you can't build a pyramid upside down. And that's, I don't know, man.
That's a quote. That was the quote of the day. You can't build the pyramid upside down.
Like, dog.
You can't start from the top, work your way down to the bottom.
Like, trickle down economics don't work. Like, I don't know. That's all I gotta say on 2020 right now.
2021.
2021, my bad. 2020 plus one. My bad.
2020 and that other guy. Oof. The start of the decade was interesting though.
Yeah, it was, bro. I hope things get better. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say they are because I said that with 2020. I was like, man,
the moment the year came in, I was like, it's my year. And then 4 days. First of all, the same. I thought 2021 was gonna be an immediate repeat. Not because of the Capitol storming. The day that it fell on was like the same amount of time that we got in 2020 before we were almost plunged into a war with North Korea. It was oh my god, it's just repeating in a different order.
It's the final mix, bro. It's the Kingdom Hearts final mix.
Not 2020 second impact.
Second impact, bro. 2020 special edition, dog.
Oh man, it is a Capcom version. We got 5 2020s to get through.
2020 arcade edition, 2020 Ultra 2020.
Don't forget 2020 Omega mode.
Oh my god, bro! Like I'm telling you. I was like, oh no. We about to get the 2020 Brotherhood.
not the 2020 Year of the Year edition.
Bro, oh my god. But I don't know. 2021 has started. It started off. Hasn't been the worst, but it hasn't been the greatest. So
yeah. Right now we're on a pretty balanced scale of like events.
You know, insurrection.
Insurrection.
New president.
President who doesn't believe in insurrection.
Exactly.
Immediately preach to unity. Let's get it popping. Go talk to someone in the opposite party sometime soon. You know, actually have a conversation with them. That's not Biden speaking. That's me speaking. Go talk to someone who you feel does not share the same worldview as you, just to have a conversation. Just have the conversation. See what they think. Maybe you can sort of convince them to understand where you come from.
Yeah.
That's the comics advice of the day.
So do you want to move on to the third and last topic?
That's right. The third and final topic for the day. When do you have to cut off toxic people? Not as a friend, but like as someone who's trying to pursue content creation or just like goals in general. All right.
I'll start this one off since you started the last two, really.
I'll let you go.
I mean, on the real, this is one of those like, I guess catch-22s, because not everyone you meet as a content creator is necessarily your friend, if that makes sense. If that makes any type of sense.
I understand what you're saying, yes.
Like you always want to treat people nicely, don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are just people who you're going to be in circles with, especially the more you move up. The more you move up, there's just going to be people you interact with or whatever you're going to talk to. You know, you're going to get to know them. Many of them will become your friends, but sometimes it's just like many of them won't. And then sometimes you got to realize, like, there are just inherently toxic people out there, dog.
Yeah.
Like, they're just... And sometimes they may be your friend. And you don't got to cut them off as your friend. You know, sometimes you can have a toxic friend and just, you know, be friends with them. But you got to cut them out sometimes of things you're doing. You got to...
when you're, like, making... Like, you've been making a lot of moves in your personal life right now. And I see that your content has been popping off, you know, averaging 1,000, I think, like, 1.5 thousand every single video that you've uploaded.
Somewhere
for like
around
the past like 5-6 videos.
Somewhere around there. I mean,
but like there are people that you will try to uplift and help, and some people just don't want it because they've never had help and they don't know how to comprehend help.
I think that's a good way to put it. And also, I think there's this concept of people who are complacent. I hate to use this word. I hate wasted potential, because wasted potential is just nothing. You know what I mean?
See,
and like you'll try to uplift people, you'll try to bring people up, and they just don't.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm dealing with this in not even like online.
Yeah.
But like in my real actual life, I have some friends. They're trying to get a podcast going. I'm like, yo, let me know what equipment you guys could use. Literally send me an Amazon wish list. I'll order like 3-4 parts, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. I haven't heard anything, haven't seen anything. I'm like, okay, all right. And we hung out recently, and I talked to them, and they were like, yeah, I don't know. The podcast game is crowded. There's too many people doing podcasts. I'm like, all you have to do is set up a microphone. If you want to, some cameras. Get some nice lo-fi vibes playing in the back, and just start talking. Come up with some 1, 2, 3 ideas, and you're in business. All you have to do is make sure you're a little entertaining. You know, go a little over the top than what you usually would.
It's
because
like
I genuinely think that these
go
people
ahead.
would blow up, especially because one of them is like a social media manager. Like they understand the game. They understand the game. They understand how marketing works a lot better than I do. Right? And I'm like, oh, okay. So like you get this popping off, and you guys are gonna blow, boom, and they just don't want to. Like, you want to know what I feel like right now?
Go ahead.
I feel like 50 Cent released a book, I think sometime at the beginning of last year, talking
Yeah.
about like how he like made his money and kept it. And he talked about the other members of like G Unit, which was his rap crew for the people in the chat who don't know. And he was like, yeah, I was trying to get Lloyd Banks on, right? Because Lloyd Banks was probably like the best rapper out of our group. But he didn't want to. And I understood that he didn't want to, right? He even had it tattooed on his arm, Lazy Lloyd, right? That's just the person he was. He was fine with sitting where he was at. So I said, okay. And I just kept moving forward. They're still friends, but he didn't try to keep pushing him and pushing him to bring him to a higher level, because that's not what Lloyd wanted. And I understand that now.
Yeah, it's. I think that's less of a situation where someone's toxic though, and more so someone's comfortable where they are. I don't think I'm not gonna say this. I don't have an issue with complacency so much as long as you're doing well. You know what I mean? I hate the people who will complain and then be complacent with what they are. They'll be like, "Oh,
They'll
I'm
be
not
like,
doing."
I can't believe I'm sitting here. I've got 2 viewers in my stream. I've been sitting here streaming for 6 hours. Can you help me out? And then you give them 3 little suggestions. You go, you could fix that. You could interact with your chat more, and just make sure that even when there's no one in your stream, you are always trying to entertain. And then the person goes, why would I do that? It doesn't make sense. I don't feel like wasting my breath. And I'm sitting here like, look, in order to grow on a platform like Twitch or even YouTube streaming, which has been popping off incredibly hard right now,
Yes.
I sort of wish that I started over there and then moved my way over here. Even though I'm not sure how the audiences would translate, but
I think they translate well. Don't worry about
okay.
that much.
But like I sort of wish that I had known that YouTube streaming was gonna start popping off around the time that I started taking this seriously. All right, I probably would have tried to balance a way to do both. Oh, shout out to Cass Kid for the follow. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. But like I realized that I was in this. I don't even want to call this a acquaintanceship with someone who didn't really care. They just wanted to think that they cared. And they didn't realize that they didn't care. And if I told them that they didn't care, they would get mad and stop talking to me. So I'm like, you know what? I think that you should just follow your own path. I think that what you're doing is okay. It could be better, but you're doing okay. And I think that's very important. And I just left them alone.
Yeah, no, it's just like I just can't understand the concept of like, because me and you know people, we both know people,
Yeah,
that are like this. They have, and I talked about potential a second ago, and I hate talking about this. It's just like wasted potential, and it's just like, how do you sit here? How do you sit on money?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. I don't understand how people will sit on money. They have the ability,
especially when they need the money.
exactly. They have the ability to become the next big thing, but they don't want to improve. But at the same time, they're like, why am I not doing this? Why is this not popping off? Why is this
And
not
then
going
you
as I
you
want?
go you take the time out of your day. You're relaxing. You're sitting in your chair. You're fucking looking at, I don't know, your 12-inch Gorilla's vinyl figure. You're admiring the money you spent, and then you hear him saying this. And you just so happen to be in the same call with him, and you go, "Hey, I've noticed some things. I have suggestions." And then you tell him. I know I'm repeating the same point, but I have to get it across. You tell him the suggestions, and the person goes, "Nah, I don't really feel like it." And I'm like, then why did you say anything in the first place?
It's like you could have just easily just said nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with the person being complacent as long as they don't complain about where they are. It's like if you're gonna be complacent in life, do not never complain about where you are
Yes.
because you're doing nothing to improve your situation.
Which is doing everything to keep you in the same spot that you're at.
Exactly. And I think people need to learn that I think another issue is people have is they don't know how to present themselves on the internet. So, you know, I know this is kind of going off of the when do you cut toxic people off, but I think it's going to
No. It's like in the same big umbrella.
But, like, people will fumble the bag merely because they're toxic to other people. And I've kind of realized this as, you know, I've done collabs,
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to other people, other YouTubers and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's that people, on top of having different fan bases, have different tolerances for different things. And when you present yourself a certain way, to say, for instance, on Twitter, like I've been getting better about this lately. Cause
Yeah.
I'll admit, I
remember
used to not care about arguing on Twitter.
Like your old. I remember your old account because I was going through my phone trying to delete like screenshots, and I saw a couple of the screenshots I had of you, and I'm like, yo, you just really didn't give a single fuck about your audience. You just did not care because they would be like, well, Shaddick, I think that. I think that Sonic Adventure 1 is pretty overrated. I don't think it's that good of a game. And you would I deleted it like a week ago. But the screenshot said, okay, and why would I care about your the word measly was used, your measly opinion. You don't even have 5 followers. That was one of the most disrespectful tweets I had seen in my life.
I remember that tweet in context, dog. Because in context, I think they were trying to soft flex. They were trying to soft flex. I remember that one.
Oh my god! Like it was just because like you had like I think it was like 400 followers on your old account. You had like 400.
I had almost 1,000.
Oh wow! So you had like 900 people watching you verbally abuse this stranger on the internet, and I'm sitting here like, maybe I should start doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'll get more followers that way.
But I didn't care about getting in arguments, dog. I would just be like, oh, because like, I was like, maybe I should just not, you know. And it's mostly because I guess like I got tired of arguing. I don't know. I got to a point where I was just like,
you were just like, yo, if you start an argument I remember because for like a week, your pinned tweet was like, if you start an argument in my replies, I'm just going to roast you. And I'm like, there's no way he's being serious.
Like, bro, I just.
And then I started scrolling through your Twitter, and I'm like, wow.
Bro,
someone's gonna report him one day.
You remember that? You know that Twitter account Monty Calf a lot, dog. Oh, that dude who just wakes up and chooses violence, dog. Yeah. That was me. That was me for a while.
He might have been one of your old followers.
Bro, I would just wake up and choose violence, dog. I did not care. I would be like, yo, don't come at me. But then I was just like, you know what? Maybe what if I just don't respond? What if I just
You don't have to respond to every tweet. And that's what you learn. It's like, pretend like you're sitting here, you're streaming Fortnite, you're having fun, you got like 10 people in your stream. You know, 5 people are talking in the chat. Then a 6th person joins in, and they go out of their way to treat you like shit. Now, you've got. I'm going to give 3 options here, right? You can respond to them and explain to them, I don't really like the way you're talking to me. Do you mind stopping, or I'm going to have to time you out? You can just ban them immediately and not worry about it, right? Or the 3rd option, you can start yelling at them like a child because because they said something that made you mad.
I never do that on stream. Like I can't be one of those people who do that on stream. I think the thing I've done, I usually do on stream, and I'll be like, yo, I'll be like, the best explanation I could, because we know someone who does that.
I know, outside of our circle, I know like 5 people who do that all the time, and I tell them not to. Like, I go out of my way to tell them not to do that.
There's someone in our circle who does that, but it's funny, but you know, I won't talk more on that. But like on stream, like I think, like I always will be like, yo, you know, because if someone's being toxic, I'll be like, yo, just, you know, if you don't stop, you'll get banned, bro. Like I just tell them, I'll be like, yo, I'm not gonna tolerate people coming in my chat being toxic, because, you know, at that point I'm with the viewers, you know, I'm talking with the viewers.
You know, you have the good vibes. You don't want to let the negative energy in.
You don't want that to take over. And I think the best way to like go about that stuff is, I think, you know, really like kind of laying a ground foundation. And I kind of want to talk about one other thing because of this, and that's like, we talk about cutting toxic people off, not as a friend, but as a content creator. Content creator. English.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But like,
no, one take.
I think the thing people need to learn is they need to cut off toxic viewers. And I've had this happen, and whether it be my Discord, my streams, my YouTube videos. And I had to like kind of just lay the foundation, like, yo, dog, like if you keep going, you gotta go. Like I don't like, I don't tolerate the toxic stuff on my video. I leave it be. I leave it be now. I used to like reply to them, but it was mostly funny. It was mostly because it was funny. On my streams, you know, I go out of my way to, you know, make sure people know, oh, you get banned or whatever. As long as people are not saying, you know, really offensive terms, because I know you're on Twitch, on my to me in my comments or whatever, you know, I'll just be like, okay, I'll leave it be. They just said they hated me. I can live with that. I'll just tell them thank you for the view.
See, I think that's sort of like one of the benefits, because the Twitch trolls, unless it's like a like esports stream, or like someone who, or like one of the well-established streamers, the Twitch trolls don't really come by that often. When, as in on YouTube, you could upload a video called "I like Dr. Eggman's theme," and someone will go in the comments and be like, I fucking hate you. I hate you. Dr. Eggman's theme is garbage. I hope you burn in hell. Right? And there will be no reason for this to happen aside from you were the one who uploaded the video. And this person, for some reason, can't seem to get enough of you, despite the fact that they dislike you. Which, on YouTube, is a fantastic thing, because a view is a view. A like is a like, and a dislike is a dislike. The more interactions a video gets, the better it does.
Exactly. And I've realized this is a neat little feature that YouTube's implemented. It can tell you how many times someone's commented on your channel and if they're a top commenter.
Oh, wow.
And the biggest 2 top commenters are always the people that love your content or love what you're saying, or the toxic people. And they don't understand that they're pushing my video or your video,
so pushing your video further up the algorithm,
or Review Tech or Linus Tech Tips, or I just think whoever it is, they're pushing their videos through the algorithm. It's kind of like the situation with I use the greatest example is the Minecraft YouTuber Dream. You know, outside of the cheating stuff, in the speedrun stuff, seems to be a pretty cool guy. You know what I mean? All he does is he just plays Minecraft, is good at it, has an SMP with a bunch of other YouTubers. So he has this massive. He's essentially created a Minecraft empire in the span of a year. It's scary. He went from basically zero to nothing, 0 to 15 million in a year. But when you don't even account into that, you account into all the people that talk about him, whether it's positively or negatively. Whether it be not really in his comment section. His comment section is relatively fine, but it's kind of like it's like you want to cut out toxicity sometimes, but it just winds up benefiting people. You know what I mean? And I think that's the greatest example of it. It's probably been one of the greatest examples of it, period. You know what I mean? It's just like, but I think the best time to cut out toxic people, specifically like as a content creator, is when they start becoming a detriment to you making content. If that makes any type of sense, whether it be streaming, making videos, Twitter, like when they become a detriment to you and your psyche especially, that's when you should just start cutting them off.
When you start stressing over the individual, that you really give yourself another 3 options, because the rule of 3 has never ceased to fail me. All right. So off the top of my head, here's another rule of 3. When you feel someone is getting to the point to which you are getting headaches, the stress is translating like into your own life, despite this person not being anywhere near you, you get 3 big options. Here's the 3 big options of the night. You can talk to them. You can just cut them off. Or you can give them an ultimatum on how they're gonna basically live with this. Going, look, I'm not the only person who thinks this way. X amount of people think this way, right? Sometimes you're gonna have to have an intervention with them if that's one of the options you're gonna want to choose. Because you can say something to someone and they'll be like, well, that's just you though. No one else is thinking that way. And then they go, yo, there's no reason for you to be a dick. And I'm like, look, man, the only reason I'm acting this way is because you were a dick. Like, I'm trying. Yeah. I'm trying.
I just think people don't understand that, like, I don't know, I just think people need a reality check sometimes, and it's like, they never get that, either because they're toxic and people don't want to deal with it, or it's, I don't know, you summed it up in the best way. You just summed it up in the best way.
The rule of 3 has never failed me.
Like, Jesus, man. I completely agree. By the way, congrats on I think you should be at like 75 followers now.
What am I at now?
75, bro.
Oh shit! When the fuck did I hit? Did I just hit 75 today?
Yeah, you hit 75 in this stream, bro.
Shit. Shout out to the viewers. You're the people. I'm pointing at the camera. The camera is off. But just imagine if I was pointing at you guys. You're the viewers. It's you. 75 of you who decided to hit that little heart button and haven't hit it again after I go dark sometimes. Super sick though. Thank you guys for the 75. And I'm working. Oh, okay. I'm not prepared for none of this today. Okay. Ooh, that scared me. I ain't gonna lie.
You good.
I was about to say something about the toxic thing. All right, but some people just won't leave you though. Like viewers or someone you might personally know. There's some people that you feel like you can't abandon. You get what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying. I get exactly.
Like you try to leave this person in the fucking dust. However, big ass comma. You just can't.
It's like they always will be there, and it's kind of it kind of sucks.
Cause like for me, Shattuck used to make the joke all the time about me and my family. It's all for my family, right? I have this undying loyalty to my family, even to like my father. I'm not that close with him, but like if he needed me and it was an absolute emergency, I would go help him, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of the same with my friends. I've been able to cut out a couple of toxic people in my life, right? But that's because I've never like opened my circle to be big enough to the point where there's a lot of them.
Yeah. See, I've in life, like I don't know. I have very few like close circles, if that makes sense. Like but I think that's kind of like been the nature of me, cause like I always feel bad because this. I'm about to say this. Like I never go. I specifically IRL. I know online I kind of do, but like I don't really ever go out of my way to talk to a lot of the people I know IRL, unless it's like happenstance, and I don't do that on purpose. But it's just been like kind of the nature of the way I was, especially like growing up, because like I guess people wouldn't do the same for me, if that makes sense, and I just kind of got in the same situation. But what was I gonna say? My brain fart. What was I gonna say?
You wouldn't go out of your way to like talk to people.
I've learned that like a lot of the times in my circles, I don't find toxic people because I don't allow them to get that close, if that makes any sense. But a lot of the people in my circle, even if it's a toxic person, I'm in the same way. I'll go out of my way to try to do things for that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've gotten in the habit of trying to make sure like a lot of like, especially like my friends, because I want people to do the same for me, are like on the up and up. They're trying to improve.
Yeah.
Trying to get their bag.
You want the people that you talk to and you hang out with to not be on the exact same journey as you, but to have enough like realization within themselves that they need to grow, right?
Yeah.
Because there are some people who like they'll hit like whatever age, and then they'll be like, "This is me. This is me forever. This is who I am. This is who I was. This is who I will be." I used to have that problem. I used to say that all the time. I was like, "I am who I was, who I will be." That used to be my motto. I used to tell people like, maybe you should ease up on like talking to people certain ways, and I would respond to people giving me good advice for my life by saying I am who I was, and that's what I will be. Because for some reason, I'm gonna tell you where I got that from, right? And you are going to laugh at me. I'm so sick. You're gonna laugh. I listened to the Eminem song where he goes, "I am whatever you say I am, and if I wasn't, then why would you say I am?" And that affected my whole outlook on life.
Oh my god!
That affected my entire life outlook from like age like 7, like moving forward, was that song. And
my brain cannot comprehend, dog.
I'm so serious. Like I was a dick because I wanted to be a dick. Like I'm such a genuinely nice person. Like if you sit down and talk to me, but like I went out of my way to not be. My mom was like, because I would get in trouble for being such a dick in school. My mom was like, I don't understand. You don't act like this at home. You know, the usual thing that moms say to like teachers. He doesn't act like this at home. You know, he's never like this and that. Right? This isn't how my mom talks. This is just the voice I'm giving her.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I am whatever you say I am, mom.
I hate that.
Oh, and then I would get home and get the chocolate that would hit me in the back of the skull.
Oh my god. You woke up and chose violence.
Like, I was... like, I said... Because like, I used to get into fights all the time. Just trying to defend myself. But because, for some reason, the people who would try to fight me were never my size, it never seemed that way. Despite what camera footage looks like. You know, I would get hit 3 times, and then I would hit him twice, and he would be on the ground. And then they would go, why is he still hitting him? I'm like, I'm defending myself, man. I didn't know if he was going to get back up. I had to make sure he stayed down. But, like, even, like, the ideas that you keep within your own head will keep you toxic. Because... I want to flip the idea now, right? Because I realized at some points in my life that I've been toxic to people who are trying to make content. Like, I've gone out of my way to, like, shame people. To be like, oh, you don't want to talk? It's probably making a stupid fucking video. And I'm like, yo, in retrospect, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? This is someone's passion, someone's dream. I'm sitting here like, yo, how could I have done this?
See, I haven't been in that situation only because I haven't been in a ton of situations where I'm not like trying to make something online. Even when I was younger, bro, I try to make like sprite animations and stuff in MS Paint and then move it to Windows Movie Maker, and that's how I was animating it. So I don't know. I've always tried to be making something when I've been playing games, doing things online. So I haven't necessarily been in that situation, ironically. I understand though that people get in that situation because I've had people like IRL be like, oh. Like I've legitimately like
one of my another fucking video
making another video Tim, and I'm like, what did I do?
Exactly. Hey Zach, you want to leave the house? Nah, I'm about to go live stream for like an hour. If you could wait for another hour before you go out, then I'll like be able to go. And he goes, no, just do your stupid fucking talking to the camera. And I'm like, I guess. Like, I guess this is something I don't like to do. You're right, you know. I'll just go out, hang out with you, sit in a park for 2 hours, just talking.
I will say this, though. When I got to college, it got better. And I guess it's because those people are more in their brains, are like, success.
No, because for some reason in the high school years, because those are the people you spend majority of your time with, you don't realize that those people are just so... They're sort of stuck in their ways. They're sort of Zach going, oh, you want to make a stupid fucking video? Find it. Don't talk to me. And they can't realize it because they don't get why you're making the video. Why you want to go out of your way. And like you said, make a script for a video that's going to be like 45 minutes long. Because they don't have the same... They can't comprehend like the drive for like making a video. Because they can understand the drive for an athlete. Like practicing the same sport all the time. But they can't comprehend that it's the same drive behind the athlete that is behind the person trying to make a video.
I think this comes from like this idea of immediate gratification or immediate like rewards. Because you can see an athlete big and strong, he goes and tries out for a team. He makes team, instant money.
Right.
Whereas
And then Lil Jimmy sees it and goes, "Wow, I wanna play."
whereas like a content creator, you have to almost all the time. You are starting from the bottom.
I love
Almost always.
One of my favorite things of all time is when people go, "Oh, they just blew up because they were them," like just randomly, and like they'll ignore like the years, like pretend. Oh my god, I'm gassy. The years of effort and hard work that they put in with all of their other things. Like when Ninja blew up, people were like, "Oh, he just blew up because he played with Drake." I'm like, yo, he was one of the biggest streamers on the internet before Drake and Lil Yachty and Juju Smith showed up to his stream. Those people just made him super mainstream.
Yeah, that's really it.
Like,
And
Ninja became a household name after
exactly.
that. He was popular before, but he wasn't T-shirts and Target popular.
Like, it makes you think about it. Like, how do I say it? How do I say this? How do I say this? I'm sorry. Hey, it's starting to hurt a little bit.
Take your time.
You think about how everybody I think about this tweet. This is from a while ago when I was on my old account. I was just not doing well on YouTube, bro. I was not getting the views I wanted. I was getting upset. I was just like, bro, I'm gonna quit. You know who commented on that tweet?
It was me.
No, it was Rhyme Style.
I'm a liar.
Wanna know what Rhyme Style said?
What did Rhyme Style say? The big
He's
Dragon
like,
Ball YouTuber.
He said I uploaded 10. He was like, I uploaded for 10 years on YouTube and got almost no views on almost all my videos. And then slowly I started growing. If you go back and look at all his videos,
he's not a liar.
He wasn't lying. His videos were getting nothing. And then it just slowly.
You can see the creep.
Yeah. And it's like, it made sense to me. You know what I mean? It's like the drive, the work, you know. Sometimes you will just have moments like that where you're just not getting views for it, or you're not getting the views that you want, or you're not getting the results that you want, say for instance. And that's why I think that kind of changed my entire perspective on content. And it kind of like, I don't know, that was just kind of one of the most transformative points in like me making content. And like, I think a lot of people I feel bad for in certain aspects because they get brought down by others around them.
Yeah.
Like you said, because some people just don't understand the drive. It's like whenever I watch someone like, let's say for instance, I watch one of these Minecraft YouTubers because I'm going to keep it real. They content kind of fire right now. People try to drag them down. They're like, oh, they don't deserve this.
It's because they're playing Minecraft that they don't deserve the views that they're getting. It's because they're playing an incredibly popular game that they're getting these views. And there's no other reason at all. They didn't sit here and struggle with other games or playing the same game, just not getting any views. You know, working incredibly hard. No, not at all. What they did was play Minecraft 3 times and they blew up. What they did was play Among Us 2 times and they blew up. What they did was play Fortnite once and they blew up. I hate that's the most toxic thing ever. Discrediting someone because you don't want to work or you can't comprehend the work someone else put in is disgusting.
Exactly. I hate that mentality. It's like, why, like, whenever I make a tweet, I'll be like, that's what I was trying to talk about earlier. I can't explain it well. It's like, when I said Dream, people get mad that he gets on trending all the time. They're like, oh, bro,
why is Dream trending? The word dream is trending. and you decided to make a tweet using the word dream. Why do you think he's trending even more?
Exactly. Like if you leave it be, it will stop.
Half the time I want to tweet about the things that are trending, saying I don't get how people could like insert trending word here, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this is all a part of the game. This is all part of the game. You see the word trending, you respond to it by making a tweet. It trends even further.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And
It's
people
like
are they're just so, I don't want to call people who make those tweets dumb because some of them aren't. People are just so willfully ignorant, man.
They're willfully ignorant, and they just kind of don't want to see other people succeed for some reason. I just don't understand that mentality of not wanting someone to succeed.
Watching someone's pocket watching is weird to me. I'm like, oh snap, because like I come from, I don't want to say the hood because it's not the hood. I come from the area close to the hood, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in between the hood and the rich neighborhood. So I see people riding around in Audis and shit, and I'm like, damn, that's a sick car. But I don't go, man, he don't deserve that car because he was born in better circumstances than me. It's like when people,
like that, you know what I mean?
Like, do you remember? I think it was, what's up, John? It was like 3 or 4 months ago with Charlie D'Amelio and what's his name? James Charles.
Yeah.
Right. James Charles made like the comment, like in that little sit-down interview that they had about the really you want to hit 1 million, and I watched that clip and had a completely different reaction from most of the internet saying, "Good job, James Charles. That was a great roast." I thought that was just like a joking gesture he made about her. You know, just she just hit 1 million. She's already looking forward to like her next goal. I thought that's what that was.
Yeah.
But apparently I'm wrong, and the internet saw that and they were like, "Good job, James. You did something right."
James. Thank you for getting her. You slayed her. Like that's
I don't get it. Like, yo, she's like what? She like 15? She's like 15. Why do you guys hate a 15-year-old?
I was like, bro, I could not be that invested in hating a 15-year-old, bro. I don't understand that. It's like
that's a lot of. First of all, I realize that I no longer have the capacity for hate. Let me clarify. I have the capacity for hate. Hate isn't making me money, so I'm not going to invest my time into hate.
Exactly.
Like, I don't hate Minecraft. I don't care for it, so I don't talk about it. But if I can see Dream trending, I'm like, oh, it's that Minecraft guy. And then I just keep scrolling. I just don't care. I'm not going out of my way to be like, fuck Dream. I hate Dream. Dream can go do a backflip, right? I'm like, you just said his name 3 times on Twitter, and now he's gonna trend even further.
Exactly. Like, most of the time when I see something, like, first of all, I don't even really check Twitter trending unless I'm on my laptop, and then
it's there on the side.
I see what's happening on the right hand side. I'll click. All right, say for instance, like JoJo Siwa's trending or whatever for politics. Oh, she came out. Okay, never mind. But like, say for instance, you'll go check like random insert YouTuber, and it's like half of the, like, whenever Dream trends, it's always I hate Dream stands, and I'm like, dog. You
could just mute the word.
Like,
Twitter has one of the best functions of all time.
Exactly.
Muting words and then figuring out what other things relate to that word, and you can just mute it, and then it'll disappear from your timeline. You won't have to see it. You won't have to interact with it unless you unmute it.
Like, bro, a dude can't, like, I think this is the funniest situation. Dude came into my server, was playing Hyrule Warriors or something like that, and I was talking about how I watched, like, a dream video or something like that beforehand. Or no, not even a dream video. I was talking about, I asked someone to play Minecraft. That's what it was. I asked someone to play Minecraft, and he goes, "Oh, I hate Minecraft." And I'm like,
Okay.
I'm like, why? I'm like, okay. He's like, well, I don't really like the game, you know. I was like, okay, that's cool. And he's like, but the real reason I hate it is because I keep getting spammed with it. And I'm like, how do you keep getting spammed with it? He's like, well, it's all over. He's like, well, it's all over my YouTube. It's all over this. And I was just like, so you watch Minecraft content? He's like, sometimes. And I'm like, so you keep watching Minecraft content and then you're upset that you get Minecraft YouTubes and your YouTube videos and you're recommended? Or then he was just like, on Twitter, I was just like, you could just mute it, or you just, as long as you don't follow someone.
Yeah, I love when I love it when you explain how someone's doing something that they can't comprehend to them, and then their first response is, but what about over here though?
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah.
So what I do is I don't look at Kingdom Hearts. You know, sometimes someone I follow will tweet about it. I'm not interacting with it because then Twitter's gonna be like, oh, you like Kingdom Hearts. Here's some more Kingdom Hearts related things for your timeline. Or, oh, you clicked on a Kingdom Hearts 2 speed run. Now, here's a bunch of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep speedrun videos for you, right? I'm not doing that because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't help me in any way. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't.
It's like for a while, I was getting a lot of Jake Paul stuff Jake Paul, Logan Paul stuff when all that stuff was happening. Because guess what? I was watching content that would be like, Jake Paul did this, Logan Paul did this.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I'm tired of seeing this stuff in my content.
That's why I try my best to not click on too many news-related videos on YouTube. Like, I'll watch, like, a Philip DeFranco video once every couple of days, right? But if I watch a Philip DeFranco video at the same time every single day, what YouTube is going to start doing is, if I log in before the time I usually log in for the Philip DeFranco video, it'll be like, so we hear you like Philly D. Here's a Lay It On Me video. Here's a Gamer Ranks video about 10 new games coming out. Here's what is his name? His real name is Rich. I forget what his YouTube name is.
His real name is what?
Skibbity Babu Dub.
Oh, Review Tech.
Yo, here's a Review Tech USA video. And here's 16 Destiny videos that you asked for. And I'm like, I mean, I guess I'll just sit here with all these videos in my homepage because I clicked on 3 Philly D videos back to back. Yo, we've completely lost the topic.
Oh yeah, we're talking.
We're talking about toxic people.
I mean,
started talking about the algorithms.
But it goes back to it. If you don't want it in your YouTube, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, just don't consume it. Like, it doesn't make.
You always have the option to turn it off.
Like, but cutting off toxic people, it's easy. You just leave them out of your life. You don't even have to engage with them. All you got to do is sometimes, like, I think, ignore them. Like, I think sometimes just not looking at the existence of them. Yo, what's good? A classy turtle and retro life. The hornies told me to cut them off. Homies told me. I thought you said the hornies. I thought you said
you right?
You didn't read. Oh my god. It's just one of those things where, like, you gotta secure the bag for yourself sometimes. I think the issue is people always think you have to. Let's see, how do I say this? you can't look out for other people if you're not looking out for yourself.
Yes, sir.
And looking out for yourself requires you to cut out the toxic people. And especially when you're doing things like making content, you need to better yourself by cutting out those toxic people. I feel like a lot of content creators don't get their momentum because a lot of times their friends around them, whether they be friends just because they're friends or friends who make content, will be either A, lackadaisical in the way they're, making content, and then feed that feed that energy off to you, or their friends discourage them from making content because they're not making content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
I don't stream. Why should you stream? I don't make videos. Why should you make videos? If I'm not doing it, why should you do it? It's basically what it boils down to. And
just try to get that energy out of your life.
you need to, like, sometimes, like, you don't even have to, like, completely cut them off. You should be like, yeah, you should really, because the big three from earlier, right? The third one is the one I recommend going with, right? Because if the third one don't work, you can just go right back to the first one. Right? Third one, sit down, gather a couple of friends who you've talked to about this, and have a mini intervention with the person about it. And if it doesn't work, they can keep talking to him, but you don't have to. Just cut him off. And it's hard cutting people off, honestly, especially because I have an abandonment issue. So it's super hard for me to just cut people off, but I'm learning. Like my hose, I had to cut all my hose off beginning of 2020. I'm like, can't see y'all no more. I can't see y'all no more. I got this yee ass haircut, and there's a vaccine that hasn't been made yet, so I'll see y'all in 2022.
Man,
See, I don't. See, look.
Oh, yeah, I get this yee ass haircut. 2022. I cut off all my hoes.
I cut off all my hoes.
I never heard a statement like that, dog.
It's okay. You gotta let them know. You gotta let them know you got it.
Well, my brain just said, "Oh my god." Hey, bro.
Is that it? I think that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
I think that's
bro.
everything we had.
We've been going for about 2 hours.
It's been let me check. It's 2 hours, 2 minutes, 50 seconds. 50 seconds. 50 seconds. All right. So I'll cut off the track. All right. Thank you guys very much for coming out to the first edition of a podcast that I said I would name later. I named it right before we got on. The Writer's Room. The Writer's Room, right? Because I'm ZDB the comic, and sometimes the joke's off the hip, but they're mostly written down. All right? This has been my main man, Shadicstick. You guys can go follow him on Twitter at MobShadic100. You can go catch him on YouTube. Same exact name as you see displayed on screen. Thank you guys very much for coming out. It's much appreciated. And I'll try to get this on YouTube. That way, if anyone who missed it can see it by early Friday morning, late Thursday night. All right? I will see you guys next time. We'll figure out a better intro for later.